as of yesterday, it was something like 1 million residential and commercial customers in Louisiana without power. What are those numbers? Where do those stand today?
Well, first of all, good morning, and thanks for having me. Those numbers are relatively static at the moment. As we've been communicating with customers, we're in that damage assessment phase. As your earlier reporter was commenting, we're in the street, yes. The debris and everything else is part of the challenge of doing damage assessment. But when the sun came up yesterday, we had birds in the air. We had helicopters and drones all trying to assess what's the extent of the damage that we have to repair. Are there transmission facilities we have to repair or replace? But our objective is to begin reducing that number. And I'll be up front and tell you that it's been a challenge thus far for all the reasons that you all have seen. That said, we are making progress on the damage assessment front. We do expect to be in a position to bring transmission facilities into service within the next day or so. That will give us an opportunity to begin bringing some of the lights on in New Orleans in the coming days. We gave you a 3-week projection early on because we were being asked by customers while the storm was passing through, what are you all predicting? And when you think about the intensity of the storm, the location, the track, the position of our facilities, we gave a 3-week estimate because for some of the harder hit areas of our service territory, it may take that long, but there will be customers online beginning the next day or two. And so progress is being made. We're really experienced at this. If we're not good, we're great at this. Unfortunately, this storm didn't discriminate and took no prisoners.
Certainly 3 weeks is a painful timeline, but definitely promising to hear that at least some customers are going to start to see their power restored in the next day or so. That being said, the fact that all 8 transmission lines that bring power to New Orleans were knocked out by the storm, how does that happen?
Well, that happens because you have two or three different dynamics. One of the dynamics is you have catastrophic winds that destroy infrastructure. After Katrina, we upgraded or fortified our transmission system and the standards by which we do asset renewal and replacement, where we actually have stronger structures. Some of it is not damage. Some of it is the system protecting itself. When because of the storms, you have an imbalanced system. That's the reason why you do damage assessment, to assess whether or not you have to do actual repair or replace, or you simply have to lock those lines back in. The challenge for us is, the electric system has to be in balance the entire time. That means balancing the generation coming from power plants, providing access through those high voltage transmission lines. And the areas where your prior reporter was standing in the street, that's distribution. That's where you see the poles and the wires and the transformers. All of those assets work in concert to keep a balanced system. Think of it as a spider web. And this storm passed through, some of the most intense areas of this storm passed through the center of the spider web of the grid that served New Orleans. And whether it was damage or whether it was the system responding to protect itself, those transmission assets were out of service. We're bringing them back in.
Right, but you can only do it in a certain amount of time, I guess. You got to roll a lot of trucks and get a lot of people doing a lot of different things. I mean, is there any particular or one significant impediment that you're concerned about, Rod, when it comes to actually getting all that done?
Candidly, it's safety of the men and women working. We're going to have 16,000 to 20,000 people working to restore power. They know, because many of them live in the areas we're trying to energize, they know we're on the clock with our customers. It's not something that we take lightly. We want the restaurants, to serve the charcuterie and oysters and other things that are normal for New Orleans, because we live here. But safety has to be the first thing. There is no job that's so important that we can't do it safe.